Hey, college football fans, what up? It's the one and only Cole Thompson. You know the drill. What if I told you Georgia was not on top of the peak when it comes to the postseason? Because they're not. They're not. Now, is Georgia one of the best teams in college football? Absolutely. Does Georgia have one of the best programs headlined by a coach that's getting paid $13 million? $13 million he has earned. Absolutely. But they're not on top of the college football world. Right now, they're not even on top of the SEC world because of last season. They dropped the game to Alabama, and even though you lost Nick Saban, the Tide entered 2024 as the conference champions, which might make Georgia even more dangerous than what they were in 2024. And to me, that might be the most horrifying thought of all. So let's discuss. But if you're new here, welcome on into the channel. Make sure that you like the video, hit the ring notification. That way you don't miss a single episode of just saying it. And make sure you hit subscribe because I'm talking college football every single day leading up to week 1 and well throughout the chaotic 2024 season. Follow me on all the socials, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Mr. Cole Thompson, and make sure that you tell your friends, family, mortal enemies, best of bros, college football aficionados, SEC faithful, of course, Georgia fans between the hedges. I want you to join this chat because we're on the race to become not only the #1 YouTube show talking about our favorite sport, but also the #1 college football community on YouTube. Could Georgia be better in 2024 than they were in 2023? Yeah. That's a horrifying thought. You know, when you see a crash that's about to happen, like an 18-wheeler is about ready to turn and they're trying to steer the skid and you see their pathway, lean on over. And you're like, there's nothing I can do because I'm in their way. That's how I feel for most of these teams for Georgia this year because if they didn't win the SEC championship, because they didn't go to the college football playoff, and with the taste knowing that a three-peat, the first since the 1930s when Minnesota of all schools did it, was right in reach, and they dropped it. And Kirby dropped one last time to Nick Saban before he went off into the sunset with a moon pie and a cup of coffee. Yeah, that's going to lead to a lot more concerns this year. A lot of people think that they know Georgia going into the season because it's the same roster. I mean, it is for the most part. You have the same quarterback in Carson Beck, who last year definitely improved on what we thought he was going to be, and he might be even better. You have the same head coach, Kirby Smart. You had the same offense coordinator in Mike Bobo. You have the same defense coordinator in Glenn Schumann. You have several of the same weapons, several of the same coaching staffs. And if they're new, well, usually they have some type of connection with Kirby or one of those people that has been around the Athens area for a while. So Georgia, most people think that they know who the Bulldogs are going to be. I don't think so. I don't think it's even close to that. In fact, I would say right now when we talk about Georgia, we're halfway talking out of our ass. Because if Georgia might have this internal switch that is just ready to be ignited. And all it takes is the same one that it took last season to go ahead and play against Florida State in the Orange Bowl. A loss. Georgia is going to get better in almost every facet of the word. You know, last season, you look at what this offense was. They knew how to run the football, and they still will. They knew how to pass the football, and they still will. But it felt like that you only were really targeting two main elements in the passing game. Ladd McConkey and Brock Bowers. Well, Brock Bowers is gone. He's now playing for the Las Vegas Raiders. And Ladd McConkey is going to be a rival for him against him in Los Angeles. You don't have that type of playmaker. You don't. Let's just get this out of the way. Ladd McConkey was special, and so 100% was Brock Bowers. You're a 2-time John Mackey Award winner. That's hard to duplicate. Doesn't mean you can't find the production to match it with quantity. I am somebody that believes in quality over quantity, quality over quantity, quality over quantity all the time. If you have a great product, people will continue to come back instead of just having a bunch of mumbo jumbo crap that just doesn't work. Well, Georgia has both quality and quantity. Georgia has really good players that are about ready to step up that we don't know what their full level could be. We don't know if Dominic Lovett can be a legit #1 receiver at Georgia. But we know he was at Missouri. We don't know if Ra Thomas can be a complimentary piece at Georgia. But we know he was at Mississippi State. We don't know what to expect from Colby Young. We don't know what to expect from London Humphreys. We don't know what to expect from Trevor Etienne. But we do know that what they did at their previous schools, all of which I might add in, were either prominent programs like Miami or the SEC, they have an understanding. And also, did you hear what Kirby said at the end of spring football this past year? We didn't let Carson Beck unleash hell until the season's end. We were timid with him going into the season. We didn't want to rush him. We wanted him to get comfortable. Well, he's more than comfortable. He has parked his little keister, sitting down, feeling good, content, ready to roll going into 2024, and he's about ready to lay waste on the SEC. And he can because he's that good. There's a reason why many people believe he is the number one quarterback recruit going into 2024. Yours included believes that. There's a reason why they have him as a favorite to win the Heisman, as he should. It's not just about the personnel, it's also about the persona. And the persona is, we're pissed off that we could have done this last year, and now we have to go ahead and do it this year to make up for it in a 12-team playoff. Oh, we're going to add some games, but we're also going to break some hearts in the process. Many people are going to turn to the defense. Well, they lost everybody. They lost everybody, Cole, right? They lost every single key piece last year. No more Kamari Lassiter. No more Tyke Smith. Jamon Dumas-Johnson just transferred to Kentucky. They lost everybody overnight because they did. Yeah, Nick Saban had this one thing where he would find a running back that was like a 4-star or even a 2-star and turn him into a Heisman caliber player. That's the way I feel about Georgia when it comes to Glenn Schumann and Kirby Smart. I would trust them with my baby, with my kids, the same way that I would trust them to develop defenses. They're just that good. It's like they have an understanding. And also they have a standard to be set. Many people forget Georgia had a former safety by the name of Kirby Smart that played during an era of football where dominance was delivered week in and week out, week in and week out. And he's carried that expectation every single year. And he continues to carry that expectation well past what has been the last 7 seasons. And also, he's done a pretty good job over those 7 years. Top 10 finishes every season since his first. Top 10 appearances in the AP poll to begin the year and end the year. Number 1 recruiting classes, 2 national championships, and a slew of conference titles. Yeah, they have expectations. And it may be young players. You still got veterans. CJ Allen's back. He's going to be a monster. You also have Malachi Stark back. He's going to be a monster. And then you look at their schedule. The thing about last season, we made fun of their cupcake, whiny, mundane matchups. We did. We can admit it. They're going to earn every single win. And when they lose a game, sometimes you see this. And this happens in life a lot. When somebody gets down on you, you get yelled at by your boss, you don't feel comfortable in your own skin, you get a little depressed. You start wondering, what did we go wrong? What did we do? What was the problem? Yeah, Georgia uses that as ammunition and revenge fuel, and they load up their guns and say, okay, let's go to work. And they feel bad for the next team that has to walk into to Sanford Stadium. They do. That's it. And they don't really feel bad, but they realize, oh, we just know that we're going to kill them, and we're going to take our frustration and our anger out of them, and then we're going to carry that week in and week out. We're going to only take a smidgen of that pissed off energy and carry that into the next week, and then the next week, and then the next week. And then it's going to lead to us going to a game that we knew that we could have won, and then also hearing, oh, well, Florida State, they were the 5 seed, we were the 6 seed, even though we knew we were better than Georgia because we were the 1 seed all the way through. And now we're going to go ahead and have a little chit chat of why we should be ranked ahead of them, at least at number 5. Because they did, and everyone knew that. Georgia's scary. Georgia's very scary. And they're going to have to earn some wins. I'm not going to sit here and even come close to saying that. They are going to have to earn some wins. The thing that worries me is that when we talk about Georgia, people are going to go ahead and pigeonhole them as, oh, they're going to have to do this. They're going to have to do that. Georgia can find ways to beat you on 3 different avenues and 4th on Sundays. That's what they can do. They can easily do that. They have the offense to put it together. They have the defense to put it together. They have the personnel inside the locker room. They got guys that are sitting on the bench for a 3rd year that would start at about 10 other schools in the SEC. So it's wash, rinse, repeat kind of aura. That's Georgia going into 2024. And that's a horrifying thought. They averaged over 38 points per game last year. And I think that they could do it again, if not more. I think that they could be a higher tempo passing team, if not even better than what they were last season. I think that they could be every bit as lethal, as scary, and basically the pinnacle of the SEC moving forward. They don't have the title. They don't. I'm sorry. That's just a fact, Georgia fans. You may not like that. You may be upset that this is the case. You may be annoyed that this is what's happening. But you are still the best team. You are. Now you got to go out and earn it. And here's the thing. People in Alabama, people at Ole Miss, people in Columbia, they're all going to say, well, Georgia, they got to fight this year. They got to fight for their right for the postseason. Yeah, they're going to fight the second that they lose. Every other team that is waiting in line to go ahead and be the one to knock them off, better go ahead and write their obituaries because it is going to be a painful experience, whether it be in Athens or at a home near you. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Do you believe that Georgia could be even more scary than what they were in 2024? Make sure that you tell Georgia fans about this video. Tell your friends, family, mortal enemies, best of bros, college football aficionados, and really anybody that enjoys sports in general, because we're trying to build the #1 college football community here. Make sure that you follow me on all the socials at Mr. Cole Thompson. And of course, hit subscribe because I'm not going away anytime soon. I'm like a cockroach. I'm going to be here until the end of the earth. So make sure that you're following along all the way leading up to week 1 and well throughout the 2024 season. Until next time, folks, I'm Cole Thompson. Take it easy, Dog fans.